30 million kin formed a ring around Leon Carte inside the trial ground. Instructor Syria Donville had used her guidance authority to open a test field, spanning over 10,000 square kilometers. When it was Leon's turn, he stepped in and scanned the encirclement. 42 races. A total of 30 million. The countdown ticked down. At the last moments, Leon lifted a hand and opened a transit gate to Sanctum. Locusts poured out in a black storm. They swarmed upward until the sky turned dark. The count kept climbing. 10 billion. Still coming. Leon kept the passage open until 30 billion locusts had crossed. Then, he severed the way. He opened a second waygate passage. Skeletons marched out in lines. Bone Overlord and Bone Reviver led the front. Without the Skeleton Lord's suppression, both had already advanced into Lord Tier Undead. Over 100 hero undead followed. Supernormal skeletons filled the rear. Leon stopped there. He did not summon more. The enemy force was too small. The countdown hit 0. The 30 million received their orders and surged in. The locusts struck first. They dove into the mass. They detonated. 100 million living bomb locusts exploded in one wave. Nearly 8 million enemy kin died on the spot. 7 million more were left heavily wounded. 15 million still pushed forward. They ran into the skeleton line. Bone Reviver raised skeletal reanimation. The dead rose where they fell. They turned into skeletons and attacked their former allies. The wounded were cut down from behind. They died. They rose again. The battlefield collapsed into chaos. A Snakekin commander released a thick poison fog into the air. The locusts were swallowed by it. 30 seconds passed. The fog thinned. Not a single locust had died. The swarm only surged harder. Explosions roared again across the field. Instructor Syria Donville found the reason and spoke aloud. They survive poison not because of divine arts, she said. It's because their own poison resistance is extremely strong. The class tried more. Fire, water dart, wind, dite, lightning, wind. The locusts kept moving. They kept detonating in tight bursts. Less than half an hour later, the last of the 30 million fell. Leon's 30 billion locusts had lost under 200 million. The skeleton side gained instead. Of the 30 million corpses, over 21 million were raised into skeletons. Instructor Syria Donville declared the result. Test complete. Leon Carte wins. No one challenged his entry again. A month later, Instructor Syria Donville sent a broadcast. The first semester's third major class would begin the next day. All of first year class on EP58 students would be sent into a fallen civilization for evaluation. The file named it Warforged Dominion. The next morning, light flared. The classroom vanished. Leon opened his eyes inside a ruined wooden hut. An altar stood at the center. He called up his interface and found most data sealed. Only his talents and abilities remain. Chosen of fate, unique. Defiant, oath. Life sacrifice, unique. Devourers, dominion. Verdant, benediction. Sovereign assimilation, unique. Haven level, 1.2. Upgrade requirement, 100 wood, 20 gold. Altars, 1. Unbound. He focused on the altar. A prompt appeared. Bind a troop stream. 9 streams of Warcraft displayed. Leon could choose only 5. He chose Shortblade stream and bound it to skeletons. The altar stabilized. Level 1. 100 common undead skeleton soldiers per day dead body. The first wave stepped out. Yellowed bones. Brittle frames. Leon did not accept that weakness. He used sovereign assimilation. 10 skeleton soldiers fused into 1 ironbone skeleton. 10 ironbone skeleton knight. The skeleton knight gained a power. It could summon skeleton soldiers from enemy corpses. Leon left the hut and searched for wood. A tall tree stood nearby. He ordered the skeleton knight to strike. A fist punched in. A crater formed. More blows followed. The trunk snapped. The fallen tree broke apart into 13 units of wood and flew into storage. The crash drew 3 Scrafound mongrel out of the brush. They lunged for bone. Leon gave a single order. The skeleton knight punched once. A dog collapsed. It punched again. Another dog dropped. A third punch ended the last one. 3 gold coins fell. The skeleton knight raised the corpses. 3 bone mongrel skeletons stood up. Leon sent the skeleton knight and the bone dogs to search for an altar. A death notification flashed. 1 bone dog had been destroyed. Leon guided the search along that direction. They found a gathering ground. Over 100 scraffound mongrel circled a dog-headed altar. Leon pointed. The skeleton knight charged. It endured bites. It kept punching. Dogs died. Dogs rose. Bone dogs multiplied. The pack broke. Leon claimed the altar. Level 1 altar. Short blade stream, scraffound mongrel. He gathered spoils. 123 gold. A dog-fang dagger. He tossed the dagger to the skeleton knight. Then he fused the bone dogs. 100 were consumed. A bone hound wraith formed. It awakened hounds, maul pounce. Leon cut down more trees and returned to the hut. He fed in 100 wood and 20 gold. Haven level 222. The next upgrade demanded 200 stone and 200 gold. Altar capacity increased by 1. Leon paid 100 gold to self-activate a second altar. Burgercraft stream. Red furnace dwarves. Level 1 or 2. 5 elite red furnace dwarves per day. Leon sent them to gather nearby materials. He sent the skeleton knight and bonehound wraith to hunt. By evening, the undead returned scarred. They brought 130 gold, rabbit meat and pelts, and 201 pairs of saw teeth from Sawtooth Ripper and Eye. Leon lit a fire and roasted rabbit meat for the dwarves. Night fell. He ordered the undead to patrol outside. He rested inside with the dwarves. Not long after, fighting sounds snapped him awake. He rushed out and saw a towering black figure battering forward. Shield wall stream, stonehide rock bear dade. Supernormal lifeform. Skills, stonehide skin, rending claws. A slap sent the skeleton knight flying. Bonehound wraith pounced, but only shallow wounds formed. The bear stomped to the hut and smashed the wooden wall. A warning screamed. If the haven fell, Leon would lose qualification. Leon seized the dwarf's axe and forging hammer. He leapt onto the bear's head. He swung the axe down. Sparks jumped. The bear shook violently, trying to throw him. Leon held on and drove the blade deeper. He raised the hammer. He struck the axe head once. He struck again. He struck a third time. The blade punched through skull and sank into the brain. Stonehide rock bear collapsed. Leon jumped down. The skeleton knight began the raising. 3 hours passed. A gravebone ursar stood up. Its damaged skull dropped it to a litier, but its bone claws stayed vicious. The bear left 40 gold, bear meat, and a bear pelt. Dawn came. Both altars produced again. 100 skeleton soldiers. 5 red furnace dwarves. Leon fused the 100 skeletons into another skeleton knight and sent his undead to hunt. By midday, the stone and gold were ready. He fed in 200 stone and 200 gold. Haven level 3. A stone house replaced the hut. Online chat unlocked. Leon opened the channel. Only 3 were online. Daphne Morwen greeted him. Siren Dawnspire mocked him for being slow. Leon replied once. Siren Dawnspire, why are you barking like a dog? Siren flooded the channel with curses. Leon closed it. Daphne contacted him privately and shared what she had heard from her brother. On the 4th day, a calamity would strike. A powerful life form would attack the haven. Survive, and trade would unlock. Daphne asked to buy strong altars from him after the calamity if he had spares. Leon agreed. He looked at his resources and judged the pace. He could not reach Haven level 4 today. 2,000 wood, 1,000 stone, 1,000 gold. The gap was too wide, so he chose a third altar with care. He paid 500 gold and self-activated it. Spear halberd stream. Halfdrake kin tertiterain. Level 1. 2 elite half-drake kin per day. 2 spear-wielding half-drake kin stepped out and half-knelt. Skill? Stormlance strike. Leon ordered them to patrol and hunt for strong altars. They left. Leon kept directing the dwarves to gather, but the numbers still did not close. Then a message arrived from a skeleton knight. A massive sawtooth ant nest had been found. It requested support. Leon grabbed the axe and forging hammer and rushed out, calling the half-drake kin through the interface. At the site, the team formed at once. 2 half-drake kin. What? 2 skeleton knight. Ataya. Bonehound wraith. Gravebone ursar. They charged into the sawtooth ant nest. Sawtooth ripper ants surged out in swarms. Half-drake kin thrust forward. Stormlance strike erupted. Lightning tore through the front ranks. The skeleton knight pushed in behind it and crushed the line. Bonehound wraith pounced into gaps. Gravebone ursar raked with claws. Leon followed behind, collecting resources and driving forward. The tunnels widened deeper in. Leon could stand upright inside. They fought for 3 straight hours. Under Leon's commands, they broke through to the deepest chamber. An Anquin-shaped altar shimmered in the dark. Sawtooth ripper ants swarmed to shield it. Leon's troops blocked them outside. Leon stepped in. He lifted the altar free. He stored it in his warehouse. Then he withdrew under escort. They ran until the pursuing swarm finally fell behind. Leon returned to the stone house alive. Inside the haven he took out the Sawtooth Ripper ant altar.